You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Today's episode is brought to you by Venmo. Look, no matter how your favorite team does this season, there's still one way to feel like a winner. And that's with Venmo. That's because when you use Venmo to add $100 or more to your DraftKings account, you'll get an extra $30 in DraftKings bonus credits. Terms apply. Just go to DraftKings.com/Venmo to activate your offer. Then choose Venmo to add funds to your DraftKings account, add $100 or more, and boom, 30 bonus credits will appear in your DraftKings account if you're eligible. This offer's only good through October 31st, 2024, or while supplies last. So make your move before the shot clock runs out. Here's the deal. Venmo is a fast and easy way to add money on DraftKings. And if you don't have a Venmo account yet, don't sweat it. You can download the app and sign up in minutes. So, what are you waiting for? Just add $100 or more to your DraftKings account with Venmo, and you'll get $30 in bonus credits. Go to DraftKings.com/Venmo and go get that bonus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Eligibility and age restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. Valid one per first-time Venmo account transfer. Opt-in required. Minimum $100 transfer from your Venmo account to your DraftKings DFS account. $30 bonus issued as DK dollars that require one-time playthrough before withdrawal. See terms at DraftKings.com/Venmo.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. If you're a smoker or dipper looking to make a change, you really only need one reason to do it. But with Zyn nicotine pouches, you can find many. Zyn is America's #1 nicotine pouch. It's made with only 6 simple ingredients. There are lots of options when it comes to nicotine satisfaction, but there's only one Zyn. Learn more about Zyn and find your reason to make a change by registering online at Zyn.com.
Welcome to the Big Suey, presented by DraftKings.
Why are you listening to this show?
The podcast that seems very similar to the other Dan Le Batard podcast.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for that.
In fact, the only difference seems to be this imaging.
I have been tempted in restaurants just walking past tables to grab somebody's fries that if they're just there. That hasn't happened to you guys?
I've done it.
And now, here's the marching man to nowhere, Fat Face, and the habitual liar.
A little teaser. The Philly fake out.
What happened there?
That's right. It's time for Thursday Thunder.
What day is it?
And it's brought to you by DraftKings.
Yeah.
Stay tuned because you're going to hear about DraftKings and all it has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Thursday Thunder, of course. Tony, what do we got?
All right, guys, we've got a barn burner tonight in the NFL. Denver Broncos and the New Orleans Saints, a revenge game for Sean Payton.
Yeah.
And Will Lutz, too, by the way.
Oh, my God, Will Lutz.
A little double revenge game on a Thursday. We're going to go a little wacky here, okay? Usually we pick the game. Usually we pick the star players. We're going to go the opposite, all right? We're going to go with guys that maybe one guy you've definitely heard of, but other guys you maybe have not heard of to do good because the Saints have nobody. Chris Olave out, Rashid Shaheed out, Derek Carr out. Wow. So it's a bit of a, bit of a mismatch there for New Orleans. So we're going to start in the obvious place. This is going to be a field goal game. We've got Will Lutz over 1.5 field goals tonight.
Boom. Thunder.
There it is. Will Lutz over 1.5 field goals. This game might end 9-6, and everybody wins. Thank you.
It might, actually.
It might.
Yes.
It might be a 9-6er. Another guy that you have heard of, obviously, Alvin Kamara receiving yards. They have nobody. So we're going to go Alvin Kamara receiving yards over 25. Maybe a nice little screen pass. Maybe a nice little slant play from the slot. You never know. Alvin Kamara over 25 yards. And this is the one that I'm staking everything on.
Really?
This is the most important leg. This is it.
House, home, unborn baby.
If this doesn't hit, we have a massive problem. And you're going to laugh when I say the name. But we are having 50 yards, over 50 yards, for Bub Means.
Oh, I love that name.
Who? Bub Means, the wide receiver one in New Orleans. Good rapport with Spencer Rattler on the second team. Okay, had a touchdown and 45 yards last week in a shootout. No Patrick Surtain 2 tonight. So Bub Means over 50 yards. If you want to get crazy and mix in a little anytime touchdown for Bub Means, you're going to be
wow, we don't get crazy.
If that's the game. If you're going to get crazy.
Get responsible,
if you're going to get crazy. Right.
Bub means business.
Bub means business. Over 50 yards for him. Over 25 yards receiving for Alvin Kamara. And Will Lutz over 1.5 on the field goals. That gives you a nice plus 550, a juicy Thursday.
Wow. Nice.
But Bub means everything tonight for Bub means.
Bub means everything. I got a very intimidating point from Stu there. He just had a Thursday heater. And was pointing at me, and I got a full little Chris Cody morning breath situation there from Stugotz over here.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
All right, armpits.
But I'm not.
Whoa, hey.
That's why I put on the jacket, by the way, so
Why'd you
I
put
can
on that
rave
jacket?
my
That's
hands
hot
free.
as hell in here.
It's not. It's freezing in
No,
there. What are
it's
you talking
not.
about?
Oh, I should have done that instead of
hot?
showering.
Yeah, dude, I'm about to take off the sweater. It's boiling in here.
2 studios now.
It was nice outside today, though, man.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Stugotz, the weather is
Soup
finally
season.
here. It is.
Yeah.
Fall was
Soup
in,
season.
Fall was in the air. Last night I felt it the first time.
I can't even describe to people who don't live here how horrible it has been outside since May. It's not like it's gotten gradually nicer out as after Labor Day or through September. No, it's been like 109 degrees with the heat index every single day with no breaks until yesterday. And now it's finally here. It's soup season.
An Xer writes in. Do we call them Xers or do we call them tweeters?
Tweet.
Why, when Dan leaves the show, they go out and get boring Israel Gutierrez and not promote from within? It's bad enough Stugotz's annoying laugh every 2 seconds without Dan.
Wow.
What's that?
You wanted me to laugh there. I'm not going to laugh there.
I did want you to laugh there.
You know, we did promote
It's too mean to
within.
laugh at.
We had Billy Gill co-hosting the show yesterday. We try to do it when we can, but we love Izzy around here, and I don't care what the listeners say.
Thank you. And just for the listener who wants less of me, I want to give you more of Jeremy. Because I think we need to talk some Miami Heat. Because last night, the Miami Heat was an unexpected back-to-back because this was a game that was rescheduled because of Hurricane Milton. And so they played the Atlanta Hawks in Miami the night after playing the San Antonio Spurs in Miami. And if this was last year, Jeremy, there would have been no names you recognized on that floor. On a back-to-back in the preseason, it just would have been, 11th through 15th guy. We'll see you guys the next preseason game. They had all the starters out there, played pretty regular minutes. Jimmy had his 24-point game, went to the foul line 8 times, did his normal thing. This does not look like a team that is just going to coast through the regular season and hope they make the playoffs.
No, it feels like the opposite. Look, last year, the vibes were down. Like, from the moment the season started.
You wouldn't know that around here.
Well, you would if anyone got to speak about the team, but the vibes were...
Yeah, I'm sure you would have crushed the team at the start of last season.
The vibes, it's a separate conversation. The vibes were not great to start last season. Emo Jimmy, from the moment Dame Lillard wasn't traded here, the whole season was going to go into a weird place. You had Tyler Hero finding out he was staying while at lunch with Eric Spoelstra. He knew all offseason long, including several off seasons before that he might be traded. This is the first year he's come in knowing that that's not the case and that he'd actually be a part of the Heat going into the year and could train that way. And this season, thus far in the preseason, everyone seems to be on the same page. I actually, if we want it, I do have a top 5 reasons to be optimistic about the Miami Heat if you'd like to be optimistic about the Miami Heat.
Should we take a vote? Because he said if we want it. Normally, you're supposed to just go and give your top 5 the way Tony does. Just perform.
I want the top 5.
You want them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you want to be optimistic?
I do want to be optimistic. First, I want to wonder what Tyler Hero orders at a lunch with Spo.
Right.
Do you think he's showing off with the order? He's like, let me get a kale salad with chicken.
I think he's
got to
eating
put on weight.
a ton of protein.
Yeah.
That guy's eating just 3 bowls of just chicken.
Philly
If he doesn't order it, Spo is.
Philly cheesesteak double meat, you think? Maybe?
Apparently, Spo, and Chris knows this, Spo absolutely murders the, what is it, the treadmill that has that sort of, what's it called?
The curve?
It's the curved treadmill, right? So you sort of control it yourself based on your own pace.
Was it Duncan?
Yeah, it was Duncan that told us that, he absolutely murders that thing. He looks like he's going to fall off, it seems like, because he just goes so hard.
He said the most impressive thing about Spo is his literal workout regimen.
The most impressive thing about this Hall of Fame coach is his workout regimen. So I've got to see it.
Bam Adebayo also said he's the Office funny. that's how he described Spo, is that he has that type of sarcastic, like dry sense of humor.
Where you like stare at the camera after?
Right. That's what I told him. I was like, we need to get like a documentary crew just on this season, not for Jimmy Butler, but for Spo, so that he can give those looks toward the camera. But yeah, I've got this top 5. So if you guys want to be optimistic, let's start here.
Well, hold on a second. We want all 5 in one show? I mean, or do you want like one at a time here? I could use one. I don't know if I need 5 reasons to be optimistic. Yes.
All right, so let's go one by one.
It's not generally.
We'll take a vote
over the next 5 shows.
You want to hear them out first?
Yeah,
okay.
We'll give you the first one. We'll start. Well, do you have any OLIs?
But that doesn't make me start.
The slow burn.
Yeah.
Okay,
Top
slow
5.
burn.
Well,
all right.
Yeah, just feeling out process.
All
here.
right.
We know it's going to get better, right?
See,
So we
worth
know
it.
that already. So don't give us the best one at first. But if it's a decent number 5, we'll allow you to keep going.
All right.
Number 5.
The young guys.
right,
So it's fun.
Wait,
The Heat.
wait,
Hold
wait,
on.
no,
Let me
no,
explain.
no.
The Heat added a lottery pick in Khalil Ware, who I know Tony is high on. Pelle Larsson, their second-round pick, is getting glowing reviews around the organization, including from Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez, Bam Adebayo. Everyone is shocked by how polished and ready to play Pelle Larsson already is. You've got Kashad Johnson as well. He was his teammate at Arizona. He's a high-flying guy, sort of the P.J. Tucker mold, and that's thanks to Bronny James, because Kashad Johnson only ends up as an undrafted player because the Lakers selected Bronny James. He was one of the guys as the best available left at the end of the draft. He goes undrafted, ends up here in Miami, the perfect place for him. To me, those 3 young guys are potentially going to add to this team later down the line, but rarely do you have a team that's as deep as the Heat are and young guys waiting in the wings.
All right, before we take a vote here. Yeah, before we take a vote here, I don't want.
You made me give the worst one, and then
I don't want to
decided to give the worst one.
I mean, I was out at the beginning.
Go for the bottom.
I just want to say that the young guys on this team have only been playing garbage time preseason minutes against fellow garbage time preseason minute types of players and have looked decent against them. But if they were really going to contribute, you would think the head coach would be playing them with the main guys, no?
I believe that the reason that hasn't happened is because the Heat are trying to build chemistry with the rotation that they are going to have. The starting lineup has not played a game together in the regular season before.
That doesn't help your case because the rotation that they're going to have is the rotation they're going to play with, and that's what's supposed to give us hope.
The rotation that they're going to play with.
I vote no more.
Okay, that's fine.
Tony, do you want another one?
Yeah, I want to know.
Wow.
I'm willing to hear him out. I'm willing to hear him out on one more.
Stugotz wants one more, Chris?
Yeah.
All right, fine.
Roy?
All right, I'll give him a chance.
All right, that's the deciding vote. I don't even need to let Jess vote here.
Just have Roy decide next time.
1919.
It's 7 of us. It was already a vote of 4.
Jimmy Butler seems locked in. Now, this is one that's interesting.
I made the wrong
because
choice.
Jimmy played 60 games last year.
We all did.
And we've now learned through the Starting 5 documentary that Jimmy lost his father during one point last season, and the reason why that was a bad time for a laugh. That's spoken in an ear.
What was that?
It was a separate behind-the-scenes conversation.
There are many conversations happening at once during this show.
That's not a good one to laugh at.
No, terrible.
But
sorry,
Jimmy Butler went through a lot last season, including the fact that, I as we mentioned, the emo Jimmy element of, I don't want to run it back with the same team. I don't want to be here playing all these regular season games. I'm going to coast. I'm going to end up in the postseason, and we're going to be fine. And in playing 60 games last year, I don't think anyone would argue he was truly locked in as Jimmy Butler for more than 20 to 25 of those. Now you have a guy who's in a potential contract season with the ability to opt out, who showed up to media day, albeit late, without any sort of haircuts or attitudes. He's done everything that the Heat have asked him to do thus far. He came in saying that he heard Pat Riley's challenge and wants to play in these regular season games. He's playing last night on the second night of back-to-backs.
All right, I have to stop you.
Homer!
Jimmy Butler.
Chris's face tells everything that we need to know. He's regretting asking. He's regretting asking for a second one. All right.
This is unbelievable.
When you say Jimmy Butler's locked in,
it's too much optimism. I mean, sorry.
It's too rainbow bright. It's too much. Like when you say Jimmy Butler's locked in, you got to tell me that he dressed exactly like Terry Rozier last night.
He
like,
did.
That's how you tell me he's
okay, but I
locked in.
can't tell you that until I get to one of my other points in the top 5, which is the power of friendship that you guys don't want to hear about.
Oh, wait.
The power of friendship?
hit the sounder. He already gave us this. What was that, number 3?
I guess we can call it number 3.
All right, number 3 on the list we didn't even ask for. The power of friendship.
The power of friendship. Now, the Miami Heat, for the last several years, have been...
Let's all watch Chris to see if this is a good
not one of the most talented teams in the NBA, and the thing that has constantly sort of buoyed them has been the vibes. When things are going bad, as we know with Jimmy Butler and Kyle Lowry, it can really go south quickly for this team.
Yes, it
Jimmy
can.
Butler during training camp, this time around in the Bahamas, is inviting guys over to his complex. They're playing dominoes together. They're hanging out into the late hours of the night. Then they're going through training camp together. Thus far this season, he picked a fight with Chris Paul to defend Jovic. Then last night, he dressed entirely as Terry Rozier with the arm sleeves and the wristband, even went back into the locker room after Terry had come out in the purple shoes to go back and get purple shoes of his own so that he could match entirely. These guys are messing around with each other. They're having a good time. Tyler has a steal in the first quarter, and he's literally smiling on the fast break as he goes down for a dunk. Again, the vibes feel a little bit different than they did going into last preseason, and that quote-unquote power friendship that the Knicks had last year that was the reason they made a run, according to so many of their fans. If you want to look at this team, it's that type of environment around the team.
Chris, what do we think?
For the audio audience, Jeremy's rubbing his nipples through that entire thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was disturbing, actually.
Shot selection.
Nope. This is number 2.
So the Miami Heat have completely reworked their offense thus far this preseason.
Georgia plays Texas. I mean,
so last season during the regular season, the last year during the regular season, the Miami Heat were 26th in field goal attempts from 0 to 8 feet. In the preseason, they are 4th in the NBA. Wow. Last season, they were 4th in shots from 8 to 16 feet, one of the most inefficient shots in the NBA. This year, they're 29th. So thus far, in the last 3 games that they've won, they scored 120 points. 116 of those came from threes, in the paint, or free throws. In each of the last 3 games, only 4 points have come anywhere outside of free throws, three-pointers, and in the paint. So this team is becoming one of those teams that's getting more efficient, easy shots. They're spacing, and that includes Bam Adebayo, who's shooting 40% from three-point range in
Somehow
this preseason.
he's making me less excited about the Miami Heat. I was super excited last night.
He's making me hate the Heat. I mean,
and I'm actually glad we didn't go one every day. Let's just get this last one out of the way. Number 1.
I think there's 2 more.
They have 15 steals per game every game.
Don't expand. We get it.
That's number 1?
Preseason steals is where we're going. I like it.
Defense
All right.
is good, and it matters because nobody thought they were going to be able to defend with the starting
I think
lineup.
we have. Even
I said, do you want to be optimistic? I can make you feel optimistic. I'm coming in with positivity. I've been so positive. Baseball's been great. Everything's been awesome. I've been so happy. And now the first time that I talk Heat, not only am I made miserable, but I know the audience is too.
Yeah.
You've driven me to madness.
You're going to be even more upset because later in the show, we might, it's either today or tomorrow, we'll have a segment of about 12 minutes of us at Heat Media Day. And when I say us, I mean not you.
Yeah, Jeremy's not there, though.
No.
So.
We had fun, though. We had a lot of fun.
It was great.
Alabama plays Tennessee.
Massive game.
What are their preseason stats?
They don't have any.
You know what we think? I think what we need is Jeremy's top 5 concerns about the Heat this season.
But not today, though.
Not today. No, definitely not.
No
today.
one likes optimism. People like concerns.
That's what I'm
right.
saying.
Yeah.
Well, especially on this show.
I did feel good about them last night. I did feel good about their spurtability. They were playing against an Atlanta Hawks team that had hit 15 threes.
You're falling
through 3
for it.
quarters.
I mean,
no, well, I was already sold on this team. I'm just trying to
But
fight
then I
off
started talking,
Jeremy.
so we had to get negative.
I just had to fight off Jeremy because he's just kind of making me not want to like him as much. But the forcing turnovers is kind of crazy. So this is a team that's not going to worry that much about defense, even though they're going to play crazy hard. They're going to change their shot profile to be nothing but threes and layups, which is what the rest of the league has been doing anyway. And they have the 3-point shooters and the drivers to be able to do it. Yeah, I think they're going to be pretty good. I don't think I need a top 5 for that.
Who on this show do you think has the best spurt ability?
Don't answer that.
No, I refuse.
Tony?
Yeah, I think it's me.
Is that a follow-up or is that your answer?
It's my answer. Definitive.
Today's episode is brought to you by Venmo. Look, no matter how your favorite team does this season, there's still one way to feel like a winner. And that's with Venmo. That's because when you use Venmo to add $100 or more to your DraftKings account, you'll get an extra $30 in DraftKings bonus credits. Terms apply. Just go to DraftKings.com/Venmo to activate your offer. Then choose Venmo to add funds to your DraftKings account, add $100 or more, and boom, 30 bonus credits will appear in your DraftKings account if you're eligible. This offer's only good through October 31st, 2024, or while supplies last. So make your move before the shot clock runs out. Here's the deal. Venmo is a fast and easy way to add money on DraftKings. And if you don't have a Venmo account yet, don't sweat it. You can download the app and sign up in minutes. So, what are you waiting for? Just add $100 or more to your DraftKings account with Venmo, and you'll get $30 in bonus credits. Go to DraftKings.com/Venmo and go get that bonus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Eligibility and age restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. Valid one per first-time Venmo account transfer. Opt-in required. Minimum $100 transfer from your Venmo account to your DraftKings DFS account. $30 bonus issued as DK dollars that require one-time playthrough before withdrawal. See terms at DraftKings.com/Venmo.
Stugotz here. I'm always looking to improve my golf game. Who's not? Hit the ball straighter, further, not having to worry about trying to hit everything perfect to make a good shot, all of it. I headed over for a fitting at a PXG location near me and upgraded the gloves in my bag. The fitting experience was phenomenal. Right by my house, Steve, the fitter for PXG, was amazing. I walked in with one set of clubs and I left with a brand new set of PXG clubs, and they are the absolute best. I have the Gen 7 irons, 10 years in the making. New PXG Gen 7 irons are the greatest leap forward in technology and performance in PXG history. PXG Gen 7s are the first irons to push ball speed to the official USGA limit. Gen 7 irons deliver groundbreaking new levels of feel, forgiveness, speed, and distance. Upgrade your bag with PXG clubs and take your game to a whole new level for a limited time. You can save $10 per club. Head over to pxg.com/Dan and use code Dan at checkout. That's pxg.com/Dan, code Dan, to save $10 per club on your order. pxg.com/Dan, code Dan.
Folks, listen up. It promises to be a month of tricks, treats, and of course, touchdowns. And DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is the #1 place to bet on touchdowns. New to DraftKings? Try betting on something simple, like a player to score a touchdown. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. Here's the reason for new customers to do a touchdown dance of their own. Bet $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code DAN. That's code DAN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball.
Dan Le Batard.
It sounds to me like everybody could use a hug because a hug is always the right size.
Stugotz.
All I have put in my body today is 3 cups of coffee and an entire cup of honey.
Go to the penalty box. Don't let him fool you. He said in the break that he's jittery.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Tony, can you save us? Do you have another top 5?
Stu, I thought you would never ask.
He actually thought you would never ask, so.
Well, Chris definitely thought he would never ask because he's not ready with the sound on that.
Who's not ready? I need to get the stink of heat optimism off of me, please.
Let's show him how to do a top 5, Tony.
All right, Tony's Top 5 is presented by DoorDash. Get all your game day faves delivered. Head straight to DraftKings.com/DoorDash to play for free. Restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. Guys, we've got a monster NFL slate to look forward to this week.
Yes, I would say this week is the biggest football weekend of the year.
For sure.
College and pros.
Right now, so far in the season?
Okay, sure. So
Okay,
I
thank
mean,
you.
littered with good games.
Yeah, it's
Stugotz also said Monday was like the best day of
It was
New
the
York
best
sports in his life.
Well, it was. I mean,
We're just doing a lot of hyperbole.
I could make the argument this is the best Week 7 slate in NFL history.
It's
I'm
awesome.
so glad we spent 10 minutes on Heat preseason.
It's awesome. But that's next week. We're talking about last week.
Okay.
We're going to start with number 5. I'm saying we were looking forward to next week. We're talking about last week. That's what Tony's top 5 is. It's not a preview. It's a
I'm just
recap.
going to put myself back in a Week 6 mindset.
Yes, exactly. Number 5, Jaden Daniels still hasn't had a bad game. He's so good even when they lose, he shows me something.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey! I mean, where's the hay? Don't we have a hay?
All right, so
Okay,
nobody
my bad.
knows
No
how to
hay,
do a
no
top
hay.
five
Wow, this
anymore.
top 5 sucks.
It's been a staple of the show since, what, 1990?
Yeah.
And we can't get
the
this
hay
right?
is in the sound, guys.
Yeah.
Like, there's
Yeah.
no hay button.
Chris
there never
knows-
has been.
There's always been a hay button. That's
No, Chris knows what he's doing here. I mean, I think. But he does.
Number
Tony,
4.
Tony, what you're saying is Jaden Daniels, even while losing to the Ravens, you were still impressed
He
with
showed
Jaden
me
Daniels.
something.
He's really good.
Exactly.
He's really good, but I think Caleb is better. I'm sorry. I might trample your top 5 there. Anyway, go ahead. Number 4.
Number 4. There's the Caleb Williams we were told.
Hey.
There's the Caleb Williams we were told about.
I know my guy.
Back-to-back games, throwing touchdowns, spreading the ball across the field. It's like, all right, he's starting to come into his own. Now the game's starting to slow down a bit for him. If you don't look too deep into the Chicago Bears schedule, because you're going to find a lot of bad teams, and they're doing this against a lot of bad teams. But the spark is there. The arm is there, getting about his mobility. Like, it's exciting. So that's the Caleb Williams we were told about. Very excited about it.
Here's a little secret, Tony. Don't ever look at the schedule and who your teams beat because there's too many bad teams in the NFL.
You know, but specifically with the Bears, there's a lot of bad teams in there. Number 3, we talked about it yesterday. Baker's back.
Yeah.
Baker's back in a big way. Number 1 in touchdowns. Number 4 in completion percentage with 71%. Number 8, I want to say, in yards over the season. Baker's playing amazing.
What
Chris is going
tier
to find
is
that
he
hay,
in?
I promise.
What tier is he in? Is he in the top tier of NFL quarterbacks now? Because he's
approaching it.
He's getting close. There's not that many of them.
Funny enough, we did Tony's tiers, which are coming out on YouTube at some point. Let me find them all.
Wow.
Well, wow, he has the tiers. This is
Yeah, I got my tiers right here.
Tiers right behind him.
Let's see. Baker is good enough.
Good enough.
He's in the tier that's good enough to get you the playoffs.
That's got to be the third tier, right?
What's the highest of your tiers?
Highest of my tiers, not to give it away, but highest of my tiers is Patrick Mahomes' tier.
Okay. All right.
And then it's elite.
Right.
Then it's good enough.
Mhm.
Then it's meh.
Right.
Then it's jury's still out.
Right.
Which were,
I love that.
a lot of
Yeah.
guys that are the jury's still out on.
But Baker's getting close to elite, right?
Baker's on his climb.
On his climb. Okay.
And then here's the funny thing about the tiers is that once you get to a certain point, you get kicked back to the jury, and then the jury figures out, wait a second, we need to confer, we need to talk about this. He might be elite. So Baker might go to jury still out and then jump back to elite.
I think Stugotz
But that's
would
Tony's tiers, that's a
love
different story.
A taste of Tony's tiers.
I would.
Just a little taste.
Number 2.
By the way, the Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield, play the Ravens. It's the greatest
Monday night.
It's the greatest Week 7 of all time. But they play them on Monday night. It's such a big game. It's such a fun game. I hope Baker wins that game.
Number 2. I want to go through a list of the Buzzsaw teams.
A top 5 within a top 5?
It's a top 3 within a top 5.
Wow.
But number 2 is Buzzsaw teams. You ready? Ravens,
Wow.
Buzzsaw.
Buzzsaw.
Lions, Buzzsaw.
Buzzsaw.
Hey.
Texans,
Yeah.
Buzzsaw.
Agreed.
Those are my 3 Buzzsaw teams right now. Ravens, Lions, Texans. You put them in, they're buzzing some saws.
Is that what a buzzsaw does?
Yeah, just cuts through.
Just cuts
buzzing
through
saws,
other
baby.
saws.
The saw is on the buzzsaw, right? But then it makes the noise of bzzz, which is why it's the buzzsaw.
Got it.
Got me?
Yep.
Number 1. It's over in Dallas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Everything?
Everything. It's over.
Really?
It's over. Money
my
wasted
God.
on CD. Money wasted on Dak. The defense is just atrocious. They don't have a running game. Jerry Jones has just lost the team. McCarthy's lost the locker room. It's over.
Is
it's
CD
over.
calling out Dak during games?
Yes.
Like, is that bad lip reading or is that real?
It's anytime Dak does something bad, the camera operators know, go find CD wherever he is and just zoom in on him.
And if you go play and replay of the play and then show what he says, it absolutely matches.
Links up,
Like if it's
yes.
a bad throw, he's like, that was a terrible throw. A good throw gets me a touchdown.
He keeps saying, like, throw it up.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't throw it up, and they don't catch touchdowns, and that's kind of what it is. But it's over in Dallas. That's number 1. Tony's top 5. presented by DoorDash. DraftKings.com/DoorDash. Go play for free. Restrictions apply.
All right, I get it. I see where I went wrong. You got to say everything's over. No room for optimism here.
That's a tough one.
Well, no,
Yeah,
I
you gotta go
had
pessimism.
Hold
Pessimism
on,
is what
I had 4 optimistic things and 1 pessimistic thing.
Yeah, he didn't bog it down with a bunch of numbers. You just got to trust the eyes.
It's facts, right? Just eye test vibes.
Yeah, eye test,
I tried to say the power of friendship vibes. No, but that's too positive.
Yeah, but
that's bad.
He finished with a boom, though. I mean, he gave you 4 optimistic things and then finished with everything is over in Dallas.
Okay.
That's how you do it.
I like that we got Tony's tears and Jeremy's tears back to back.
Couple of tears,
are the
cutting it up.
I didn't realize that Chris's
Scared the
clothing.
shit out of Willow. Chris, what is this little dance?
Doing the boom dance.
Doing the boom dance, yeah.
Okay.
I realized while he was doing the boom dance that he's wearing clothes that just give you advice. It says pee daily. Which I'm thinking
That's
if you
what
don't
we do,
that,
baby.
yeah, you should probably. Should we start a pee chat?
Brush your teeth if you do it, though.
Brush daily.
Jess, what was this? Will Levis has been like a very intriguing quarterback for me because he's got
great
like,
word for it.
Intriguing, yeah.
He's just like these commercials are strange. He seems to be leaning into his personality. He's got like he's basically built like Tim Tebow, but entirely different personality. And what did he do here? He took out a ball boy recently.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, there's like Will Levis has kind of turned into an internet meme because he's had a moment from every game he's played in the season, like go viral for just looking kind of absurd in a still frame. And so in the first game, it was like this absurd fumble he had or the interception in the Bears game with the surrender cobra. The second game, it was this absurd.
I can do that now
fumble
because I
where
put
he
on a
was-
jacket, but I
Yes,
don't have this
you can
pit
do it
stand
now.
anymore.
He was in midair, like completely
The
like
tackle, right?
starfish position, and the ball was just out of his hand. So then there was another one. He was like crying. It looked like he was crying on the sideline. It's been a really weird season for him. But yes, he took out. I don't know. I guess ball man would be the word because it was like an adult, older man. It was an older gentleman.
The ball dude.
This has happened a couple times this season so far. I mean, I know it happens every year, but so far this season, I've seen 2 fairly significant injuries to chain gang members or guys like the spotters on the sidelines. And this guy had to get carted off the field. And I felt so bad for him because his entire leg was wrapped up and he was being carted off all because of this kind of like freak accident play on the sidelines involving Will Levis. So, of course, now that has also gone viral.
So not only do we probably not need them because we could use technology to spot the ball. I believe there's like technology in the flag football league that's way better than the NFL. But they're still on the sidelines suffering potentially, I mean, at their age, life-threatening injuries because anytime you go under a knife at that age.
I think it was a ball boy. I don't know how you get a robot on the sideline to like do some of
the Tesla robot.
That's also been a really good meme.
I love that meme. That's the best meme on the internet right now. It's
the
incredible.
Sad Tesla robot going through TSA, and it's like my
Hold
Tesla
my drugs.
robot when I ask it to hold my drugs going through security.
My Tesla robot asking after I ask it to get a part-time job to help pay for itself.
My Latin mom when it says "Nadie me ayuda aquí."
What?
I don't think
Nobody helps me here.
I don't think every job on the sideline could probably be replaced. It is a dangerous place to be, obviously, the sideline of a football game. I know people that have gotten concussions. I know people that have gotten their legs taken out. But yeah, I felt really bad for this guy because it really did not look pleasant.
Of all the quarterbacks that you see barreling towards you in the NFL, I'm pretty sure Will Levis is like
He's the one
top
you don't
3?
want to see. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, that'd be a good top 5. Can we do tiers of quarterbacks you'd least want to see coming barreling towards you?
If you're holding the chains, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're part of the chain gang.
Josh Allen is number 1 for me.
You get out of the way. Yes.
That is.
You drop
he
the
is
chain, you get out of the
flying
way.
towards you.
Yes.
Cam Newton up there too.
Tua's up on my list because he doesn't know how to slide.
Let me check out this Will Levis play. I'm looking at it for the first time. I didn't see it live. And then
Goo!
All right.
His leg snapped.
Why are we going? Goo?
Jeez.
He got the
Madison?
sound comes out when
Yeah.
you see it.
Goo?
When you pee your pants, isn't that a goo?
Yep.
Go.
Man,
Hey.
that looked like it hurt.
Did you guys not to go from
Number 3.
terrible accident to very a very difficult accident to think about and watch. But did you guys see the Aidan Hutchinson injury?
Yeah.
And how did you guys experience that?
I can't unsee it.
When I saw it, I'm looking up toward the knee because I had no idea what the injury is. And then right at the very end, you see the ankle kind of dangling, and it's like, oh no!
It's not even his ankle, is he? It's like mid leg is dangling. You look like a spaghetti noodle.
Ugh.
When you just like kind of go like this.
I actually didn't see it, but I saw some still shot going around the internet, which was terrible.
So whenever that happens, I think of Joe Theismann, who had his leg snapped in half by Lawrence Taylor during, I think, a Monday Night Football game. And LT knew it was so bad that he was waving the team doctors to come out to help Joe Theismann. I also think of Jordan Travis last year with Florida State, where I remember that, and I saw it, and I wish I didn't see it. And I told my wife and my kids, don't see it. Like, you don't want to see it. You don't want to see it. And for some reason, they didn't realize how bad it was, and they went to see it. They sought it out.
Kevin Ware, the one from Louisville?
Yeah.
Louisville? Sorry.
Oh, that's a bad one. But I heard my kids screeching in their bedroom when they watched it. I'm like, I told you not to watch it.
It's terrible.
Paul George had the same thing.
Yeah.
First thing I thought of was, man, he shouldn't have said he wanted to break that record this year. Like, you're just tempting fate. And I'm telling you, like, he's never going to say that again. I don't know how superstitious he is. He's probably never going to say it again. Because I don't know what pace he was on. But
a good one.
Right, one where he probably needed one more, 2 or 3 game stretch where he would have set that. But yeah, I am 100% superstitious about that stuff. Never would say it again.
And it totally sucks too because they were already winning that game. That game was pretty much over, and it was on. Like, I watched it happen live, and honestly, like, I think I was looking at the wrong place because I was like, oh, looks like he got rolled up on. That stinks. But then I was watching Red Zone, so they flipped back, and he was like getting on the cart, and I was like, oh no.
I think it was a leg whip.
I have not gone back to look at the play.
He was running, and I think like he put his leg out to like run forward, and then somebody was running behind him, like either in a block or trying to get around on like a stunt, and his leg just got like basically when the freeze frame is half of your leg at a right angle,
right?
That's usually bad, like wrapped around somebody else's leg.
Making it
Tony's
worse
right about that.
For me is.
Thank you.
We're just starting nationally to get to know Aidan Hutchinson. Like, he's in these commercials. You're just like, who's that guy on the State Farm? Oh, okay. And you figure out who he is. And it's like, wow, he's this up and coming. He's going to be maybe the best defensive, whenever TJ Watt retires, the best defensive player out there. And then bam, like, not only is he out for the season, but it's gruesome and it's tough to look at. And you feel sorry for him. You go from like being scared by him to feeling sorry for him because he's got everything in front of him. Fortunately, though, it's just a broken leg. Like, I know it sounds crazy.
No, but you're right.
It's just
it could have been worse. Yes, you'd rather just break. No, you'd rather break your leg like that than tear an ACL or an MCL or something like that. A clean break like that. Yeah.
100%. But I also think, because I have a couple of good friends. Yes, 100%.
Yes,
no doubt. I have some friends in Detroit,
We're
and
doctors.
When things go well in Detroit, stuff like this happens, and I feel terrible for them. Like, I know I'm a Dolphins fan. I haven't seen the Dolphins win a playoff game since, previous century, but it must suck for Lions fans to experience it.
Howdy, listener. It's Mike Ryan. You probably like football, don't you? You're listening to a sports podcast. How can you not love football? From defending your favorite team after a bad loss to obsessively checking your fantasy lineups, football fandom is bigger than just Sundays. Miller Lite knows the passion that comes with rooting for your team, like the debate that sparked in 1975. Great taste versus less filling. So, what is the best thing about the original light beer? Let it be both. From its beautiful color, to that gorgeous white can, to the fact that it's refreshing, to knowing that you're not sacrificing any flavor when you grab America's favorite light beer, the original light beer. Miller Lite keeps it simple. Undebatable quality, great taste at only 96 calories. Make your game time taste like Miller time. Tastes great and is less filling. Let it be both. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/Dan. Or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
It's time to review the top 3 highlights of the day. I'm joined as always by my co-anchor Snoop.
Hey, what up, though?
Snoop, number 1 has to be getting the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence at T-Mobile.
Yeah, you should hustle down to T-Mobile like a dog chasing a squirrel chasing a nut.
Nice analogy, Snoop. Dogs do love to chase squirrels.
And squirrels love to chase those nuts.
On to highlight number 2. At T-Mobile, families can save 20% every month versus the other big guys.
That is very impressive. Y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
That's exactly what I'm planning on doing with my savings, Snoop. Now, take it away, Snoop.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on them. Now drop that jingle.
With 24 monthly bill credits, eligible trade-in on Go5G Next. Well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits, and credit stop and balance on required finance agreement due. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.